All right, hear me out. And maybe this is just me. But I just thought about it because I was driving on my way home. I'd really be ready to cut a nigga off over the smallest shit. Like the littlest thing, I'd just be turned off. Like, ugh, like, ugh. It was mad people in the regular lane. And the express lane was.
The big story in Action News is the mysterious death of a South Jersey woman, now drawing international attention.
Now, tonight, we know new details from authorities about her death. She was on a vacation of a lifetime in Zanzibar, Tanzania, which is on the east coast of Africa.
Imagine this. You're a 31-year-old woman, living your absolute best life. You built something real, a brand, a following, a community of people who tune in just to watch you exist. You're beautiful, you're glowing, and the man you love just got down on one knee in the middle of the African wilderness, surrounded by lions and golden light, and asked you to spend the rest of your life with him. You said yes. You posted the video. You captioned it, "Still taking this in somewhere in Africa." The comments were flooded. Your people were celebrating with you, and 3 days later, you were dead. That is the story of Ashlee Robinson, and nothing about it adds up. Before we go any further, if you are new to this channel, this is Shadow Crime, and we don't let cases like this get buried. Hit that like button right now, subscribe, and click that bell icon so you never miss a single upload. Because stories like Ashlee's deserve to be heard, and it's you sharing and engaging that keeps this community pushing for the truth. Now, let's talk about who Ashlee Robinson really was. Ashlee went by Ashlee Jenae on social media, and she had built a genuine following of over 130,000 people on Instagram alone. She was a lifestyle and travel influencer based out of New Jersey, the kind of person who made you feel like you were right there with her wherever she went. She shared her travels, her fashion, her relationships, her growth. She was real with her audience. Her father, Harry Robinson, described her simply: she's always smiling. She loved being in front of the camera. Her mother, Yolanda, called her happy. Her friends called her a light. By every account from everyone who knew her, Ashlee Robinson was a woman who was stepping fully into her life. The man she was with was Joseph Isaac McCann. Joe McCann, 45 years old, Miami-based, and by every professional measure, a serious and successful man. He is the founder and CEO of Asymmetric Financial, a crypto investment management firm. His resume includes over 25 years of experience between Wall Street and Silicon Valley, with stints at Microsoft, Passport Capital, and a venture-backed startup called NodeSource that exited in 2019. On X, where he also has over 100,000 followers, he describes himself as just your average Joe. He quotes Iceberg Slim. He posts about crypto markets and AI. On the surface, he looked like exactly the kind of man who could give Ashlee the life she was building toward. The two of them traveled to Zanzibar, Tanzania, in early April 2026. The trip was meant to celebrate Ashlee's 31st birthday, and it started like a dream. Safari photos, wildlife encounters, rose petals, a proposal. On April 3rd, Joe got down on one knee during safari, and Ashlee shared a video with the world. On April 5th, her actual birthday, she posted one final time, a montage of herself feeding a giraffe, surrounded by red and white rose petals spelling out HBD Ashlee. She wrote the caption herself, Chapter 31, and I'm exactly where I need to be. For days later, she was gone. Now here is where things start to get uncomfortable, because the picture-perfect birthday trip that Ashlee was posting about on Instagram, that was not the full story of what was happening inside that resort. According to Tanzanian police, from the moment Ashlee and Joe checked into the Zuri Zanzibar Hotel on April 6th, there were problems. Not small disagreements, not minor tension that couples shake off. We are talking about arguments loud and disruptive enough that a neighbor in the adjacent villa complained to hotel management. Think about that for a second. You are at a luxury resort in one of the most beautiful places on earth. You just got engaged, and your neighbors are calling the front desk because the fighting coming from your villa is that bad. That detail alone should make you pause. Hotel staff confirmed it. Other guests confirmed it. The couple had been at each other repeatedly since the moment they arrived. And yet, if you were scrolling Ashlee's Instagram during those same days, you would have seen nothing but paradise. That right there tells you something. Either Ashlee was protecting the image of the relationship, or things escalated in a way that caught even her off guard. We don't know which, but what we do know is that on the night of April 8th, things came to a head in a way that the hotel could no longer ignore. A serious argument broke out inside their villa. It was bad enough that hotel management physically intervened. They separated the couple and moved Joe McCann to a completely different villa. Not the room next door, not across the hall. A whole separate villa, about an 8 to 10 minute walk away from where Ashlee was staying. That is a deliberate distance. That is hotel staff saying we need these two apart right now. And here's what makes this even more layered. Before all of this happened that evening, Ashlee actually called her mother. She told her mom that she and Joe had gotten into an argument and that they were being moved to separate rooms. Let that sink in what would turn out to be one of her final conversations with her family. She was telling her mother about a fight with her fiancé. Her mother said everything on that call seemed normal, not panicked, not fearful, just a daughter checking in. Nobody on that call had any idea what was about to happen next. A hotel attendant made his rounds that evening and stopped by Ashlee's villa. She answered. She was alive. She was communicating. She even borrowed his phone charger and asked him to come back in about 10 minutes. That is important. That is a woman who was present, who was functioning, who had a need as basic as charging her phone. Nothing about that interaction screamed crisis. The attendant went to check on the neighboring villas and came back roughly 20 minutes later. This time, no answer. Lights off, door locked. He used his emergency key to get inside, and the moment he stepped into that dark room, he heard a thud coming from the direction of the wardrobe. He found Ashlee hanging from the internal wardrobe rod, a clothing belt around her neck. She was still alive. Barely. He immediately ran for help. When staff returned and got her down, she was unconscious but still breathing. She was rushed to a local hospital and then transferred to a second facility. She never woke up. Ashlee Robinson was pronounced dead on April 9th, 2026. The official cause of death listed in the medical report was cerebral hypoxia caused by strangulation and suffocation. And Tanzanian police came out and called it a suicide. Case closed, as far as they were concerned. But her family, her friends, the millions of people now following this case online, they're not buying it. Not even a little bit.
We're learning new details tonight about the death of an influencer with local ties who was found dead while on vacation in Africa. Ashlee Robinson, who goes by Ashlee Jenae online, was on a birthday trip with her fiancé at the time.
Well, tonight we're learning her fiancé is still being questioned as Robinson's family desperately tries to find out what happened to her.
It is Tuesday night. Shari's off. Alicia Vitarelli is joining us, and the big story in Action News is the mysterious death of a South Jersey woman, now drawing international attention.
Now, tonight, we know new details from authorities about her death. She was on a vacation of a lifetime in Zanzibar, Tanzania, which is on the east coast of Africa. Action News reporter John Paul live in the Satellite Center now with the very latest, and the family desperate for answers, John.
Yeah, Alicia, Rick, they are desperate for those answers. Now, we did get some new information. We know that authorities in Tanzania have confiscated her fiance's passport. This is while he's still being questioned. But according to the BBC, local authorities there in Tanzania did not originally suspect him of any wrongdoing, while the family continues to be desperate to know what happened.
I don't think no one else is going to fight for it the way we will.
That fight continues tonight as the parents of Ashlee Robinson press for answers as to what happened to their daughter who was found dead in Tanzania. Today, the two spent the day in Washington, D.C., trying to get information from the embassy. They spoke with Action News yesterday, saying they were getting nowhere.
No one wants to talk to us. Like, just let us know what happened. That's the only thing we want to know is the truth.
There is nothing that's confirmed. We don't have anything from the police or law enforcement that states that there is a conclusion to anything. It's under investigation, and it's under investigation because it doesn't look right.
Robinson, a 31-year-old social media influencer who went by Ashlee Jenae online, was found unresponsive in her hotel room in Zanzibar and declared dead April 9th. Police say they're investigating it as a possible suicide, but investigators in Tanzania said she had been in a fight with her fiancé, Joe McCann, hours earlier, and the two were separated by hotel staff. He was moved to a different villa, which was about a 10-minute walk away from where she was staying. Her parents are now pushing for security footage from the Zuri Zanzibar hotel.
If there's security footage, that will tell the story. So we just want to know if there's any security footage, if there's anything just to saying that what he's saying is true.
The hotel hasn't responded to them, but did provide a brief statement to ABC News, saying they were deeply saddened by a tragic incident involving one of our guests. Tonight, the family's preparing to fly to Zanzibar to try to get answers in person.
I just know that I have to keep going forward. I'm never going to give up. And I just want the truth out there.
We did reach out to McCann. He has not responded. As for the autopsy, that is expected to be released at some point tomorrow. The parents tell me that they are still trying to make the trip out to Africa. They expect to do that sometime this week, but they're waiting on that autopsy. Live tonight in the Satellite Center, John Paul, Channel 6 Action News. Rick?
All right, John, thank you for that report tonight.
So let's talk about the part of this story that has everyone's blood boiling. Because it is not just the circumstances of how Ashlee died that has people questioning everything. It is what happened after. It is the behavior. It is the silence. It is a timeline that does not sit right no matter how many times you look at it. When Ashlee was found and rushed to the hospital, her family back home knew nothing. Zero. Her mother, her father, her sister. None of them had any idea that the woman they loved was fighting for her life in a hospital bed on the other side of the world. And the person who knew, the person who was right there, Joe McCann, her fiancé, the man who had just put a ring on her finger days earlier. He knew, and he said nothing. Not for 1 hour, not for 2 hours, not for 5. 11 hours passed before Joe McCann picked up the phone and called Ashlee's mother, Yolanda. 11 hours. And when he finally did call, he did not lead with the truth. He told her that Ashlee had done something to herself and that she was at the hospital. He told Yolanda she was stable. He made it sound like there was still time, like everything was going to be okay. And then the call ended, and he went quiet again. The next call the family received was not from Joe McCann. It was from the hotel. The hotel told them their daughter was dead. Put yourself in that position for a moment. Your child is halfway around the world. The man who was supposed to love and protect her waited 11 hours to tell you something was wrong. And then you find out she is gone, not from him, not from a doctor, not from anyone who was actually there, but from a hotel receptionist. Yolanda said herself. She was supposed to be happy. And then she's just gone. Harry Robinson told reporters flat out, "That's devastating when your daughter's halfway around the world. We just want to know where she was at, who she was with, and that she was okay. Just give us something." Joe McCann has not given them anything since. No statement. No public acknowledgement. No explanation for the 11-hour gap. Nothing. Every major news outlet that has tried to reach him, CBS News, ABC News, Newsweek, has gotten no response. His team at Asymmetric Financial has gone silent. The man with over 100,000 followers on X, who was posting about AI success stories on the very morning of April 8th, the same day Ashlee was found, has not said a single word publicly about the woman he was engaged to marry. And the people who knew Ashlee are not staying quiet about that. Her close friend Savannah Britt took to social media immediately and said what a lot of people were thinking. "We need justice for my friend Ashlee Jenae, who was found dead in her hotel in Tanzania, and her fiancé Joe McCann claims she hung herself. Anyone who knows Ash knows she would never commit suicide. We need answers now." That post went viral almost instantly, and it opened the floodgates. Cardi B weighed in publicly, flatly rejecting the suicide narrative. Hundreds of thousands of people began sharing the story, dissecting the timeline, pulling apart every detail. Someone even surfaced a claim that a fan had sent Ashlee a warning about McCann weeks before the trip. Though that detail has not been independently verified and should be treated carefully until there is more confirmation. But here is what has been confirmed. The medical report states she died from cerebral hypoxia caused by strangulation and suffocation. There was an unidentified mark around her neck. And according to documents that surfaced, McCann himself told authorities that he found her hanging. Not hotel staff, not a stranger. Him, the man who was supposed to be a 10-minute walk away in a completely separate villa somehow, factors into the discovery, depending on which account you read. That inconsistency has not been explained. Her family is now pushing hard for one specific thing above everything else: the surveillance footage from the Zanzibar resort. Her father said it plainly. There are cameras everywhere at the resort, and that will match the timeline. Just do the investigation and let us know. That footage has not been mentioned once by investigators in any public update. And that silence is its own kind of answer, isn't it?
The mystery surrounding the death of a social media influencer from New Jersey is deepening.
We just want the truth. We just want to know what happened.
Earlier this month, Ashlee Robinson, better known as Ashlee Jenae, was on vacation with her boyfriend at a resort in Tanzania. Images posted online show her celebrating her 31st birthday and getting engaged to her boyfriend, 45-year-old Joseph McCann.
She was happy. This is what she wanted.
She FaceTimed me, showed me her ring. She's like, Papa, I'm happy.
But days later, local authorities say hotel guests reported a romantic conflict between the couple, prompting management to move McCann to a separate room. A few hours later, authorities say she was found unresponsive in her room by hotel staff.
I did receive a phone call from Joe. He told me that Ashlee did something to herself and that she was being taken to the hospital, and that he told me that she was stable.
After receiving treatment at 2 hospitals, Robinson was declared deceased. A hospital medical report suggesting she died by suicide, noting an unidentified mark around her neck. But Robinson's family not accepting that explanation. They want more information.
She's never done anything that would ever lead me to believe that she would do something to harm herself like that. She was happy.
Authorities are still questioning McCann and confiscated his passport while they wait for the medical examiner's report. McCann has not responded to a request for comment.
No arrests have been made. Police previously said McCann is not suspected of wrongdoing.
So where does this case actually stand right now? Because that is the question everybody is asking. And the honest answer is that we are in that frustrating middle space where there are more open doors than closed ones. But what is happening behind those doors matters enormously, and you need to know all of it. Tanzanian authorities held a press conference on April 14th and confirmed that Joe McCann is being actively questioned. His passport has been confiscated. He cannot leave Tanzania. He is not being treated as a suspect officially. They are calling him a witness, but they are not letting him go anywhere either. Think about what that means in practice. The man has no freedom of movement. He is stuck in a foreign country while investigators decide what the autopsy tells them. That is not nothing. The autopsy itself is being conducted at Lumumba Government Hospital by both Tanzanian doctors and forensic specialists. And here is a detail that matters. The United States Embassy in Dar es Salaam dispatched their own coroner to be present for that process. The family is also participating through a specialized coroner institution that the embassy verified and approved. So this is not just Tanzania handling this alone, and the family hoping for the best. There are American eyes in that room, American hands involved in determining what actually happened to Ashlee Robinson. That changes the weight of whatever findings come out. Authorities have been clear about one thing. If the autopsy establishes that a criminal act took place, charges will follow. They said it directly, which means right now everything hinges on what those results show. And they have not been released publicly yet. Not a single finding, which is either because the process takes time or because what they're finding is complicated enough that nobody wants to speak prematurely. Either way, the world is waiting. Outside of Tanzania, pressure is building from multiple directions. The Human Rights Association formally called on the Tanzanian government to launch an independent investigation and simultaneously urged the United States State Department to engage directly with authorities on the family's behalf. The State Department has confirmed it is monitoring the case. Zanzibar's Ministry of Tourism and Heritage issued a statement asking for patience and promising due process. And Ashlee's parents have launched a GoFundMe that has already raised over $42,000, money they plan to use to travel to Tanzania themselves and pursue answers on the ground, because waiting at home is no longer something they are willing to do. Now I want you to sit with some of the things that still have not been explained, because this is where the story gets truly unsettling. The couple had been fighting repeatedly from the moment they arrived at that resort. But Ashlee's Instagram showed nothing but joy. What was actually happening behind closed doors during those days that none of us saw? And if the arguments were bad enough for hotel management to physically separate them and move Joe to a villa 10 minutes away, what exactly was said? What happened in that villa that night that pushed things to the point of no return? Then there's the phone charger. Ashlee borrowed a charger from a hotel attendant and asked him to come back in 10 minutes. She was calm. She was present. She had a plan for the next 10 minutes of her life. How do you go from borrowing a phone charger to being found the way she was found in the same window of time? What happened in those 20 minutes between the attendant leaving and coming back to a dark, silent room? And McCann, the 11 hours, the one call, the silence ever since. The fact that a man with a massive public platform, someone who posts about crypto and AI constantly, has not said one word about the woman he was engaged to. Not a tribute, not a statement of grief, not a call for answers. Nothing. What does that silence tell you about what he knows? Here is what we know about human behavior in moments of genuine shock and loss. People reach out. People talk. People fall apart publicly or privately, but they reach out to the people who matter to the person they lost. They do not go quiet for days while the family of the woman they love finds out she is dead from a hotel receptionist. Ashlee Robinson was 31 years old. She was engaged. She was happy by every account from every person who actually knew her. She borrowed a phone charger 10 minutes before her world ended. Her family is on the other side of the world demanding answers that nobody has given them yet. And the man at the center of all of this has chosen silence over everything else. That is not closure. That is a case that is still wide open. And we're going to keep watching it. If the story moved you, if it made you angry, if it made you ask questions, that reaction matters. Like this video, share it with someone, and subscribe to Shadow Crime so you are here when the next update drops. Because Ashlee Robinson deserves to have her name said, her story told, and her truth found. And we are not going anywhere until it is.